What's up, YouTubers? Today we're going to talk about the Kizer Vanguard Begleiter. This is kind of a classic, well-known EDC design. This is designed by Azo. I'm not quite sure who that is. Haven't researched it entirely. This is the BladeHQ MICARTA exclusive. This particular one is the quote-unquote black MICARTA. It has a little bit of a greenish hue, and it has the blue pivot collars. Well done, MICARTA. This is a 3.5-inch blade of CTS BD1N steel. It weighs 2.8 ounces. They actually quote it on their page as like 3.8 ounces. That might be the standard one in G10, but this one is definitely 2.8 ounces. And I measured and calibrated everything. Price is at $60, or priced at $60, I should say. They are now up to $80. So I've had this one a couple years and just decided to go ahead and do a review on it because I'm actually giving this one away. We'll talk about that a little bit later. In terms of some comparisons or alternatives, in the little bit smaller side, but thin and pokey, meaning thin, is the Ferrum Forge Stinger. That's definitely one. It's a little bit shorter blade, about 3 1/4 inch, so about a little bit less than that. But again, it's one of those that's very thin here, and that's what we're kind of talking about. Thin in pocket, thin in carry, thin in hand. That's definitely one of those that is possible. The Civivi Button Lock Elementum is definitely also in there. It's the exact same size blade, 3.5 inches, and once again, thin. So that's one of those options out there that you got. Another one that really kind of made me feel like, the one that it felt kind of most like, blade-wise, was the Boker Plus Quaken. This one, I got it for $60 a couple years ago. The price is getting crazy stupid now. These are now going for like $120, so I would not pay that, honestly. I haven't done a review on that one yet, but it's not worth that. This one is in Cocobolo wood. It's probably worth, I think, similarly priced in the $80 range for this. It's not with $120. So that is a, kind of thin. This is a little bit fatter because it's contoured scales, but very kind of pokey, stabby. And then the other one that I really thought of was the Concept Knives Fusa. This particular one is the double detent, but they do sell a liner lock if you're interested in a liner lock on that one. A little bit short blade, again, 3 1/4, but they have it with a standard drop point blade as well. It is this kind of traditional Tanto. So those are, again, that's kind of the order of the day, is thin. So I think in that price range, that's kind of what you're looking at for the most part. At least for what I have, and I think some things that are out there, they're certainly available to purchase. Let's jump right into the pros of this knife. This is an amazing pocket carry. It's very, very thin, long and skinny. It's just great as far as a pocket carry goes, and it literally disappears almost like a Benchmade bug out. But this one's just a 1/4 inch longer blade. In that sense. Why didn't I compare it to a bug out? Because it's not an ultra light. It's pretty dang light at 2.8 ounces, but it's just, I don't know, slightly different, and it also is a little bit wider than that. And a bug out these days, really, for a comparable one, you're going to be paying $150 against this one, which is, in that $60 to $80 range. Very good, though, there. A full-length knife of 3.5 inch with very stainless CTS BD1N steel. It sharpened up really well. I did have to sharpen it twice. We'll talk about the cons in just a sec. But yeah, they did a fine job on the heat treat. I can tell you from sharpening this that it is definitely decently heat treated, because it wasn't just really a piece of cake. I've had some other CTS BD1N steels that are really a piece of cake to sharpen, but this one took a little bit of effort on the stone. So that's how I know they did a pretty good job. And BD1N steel is very good stainlessness. One of the kind of use cases for this is it really is. It looks like a steak knife, a folding steak knife. Kizer's MICARTA is second to none. It actually has developed a great patina. You can kind of see where it was in my hands the last couple weeks, and it's starting to pick up a few of the oils. They just do a great job. These are nested liners with weight relief. That's what makes this one very light. Yeah, I'm always hoping. Never know. I can't see it here, but there are in fact weight relief nested liners. So that's a great thing to have the nested liners for that. Yeah, a lot of good things going for this knife. As far as the cons, I talked about it already, but the edge on it from factory was terribly burned. I don't know if this will show. We'll see. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of that burn there, reminiscent. Somebody was just overly aggressive trying to sharpen this thing and get it out the door fast. So that was a little bit of a problem, and I did have to sharpen it actually a full second time after using it. But after that, I've been working on my own personal stone, working on convex edges, and this one did a really good job taking that convex edge, and it's been fantastic ever since on that. So kind of a good thing. I turned a bad thing into a good thing. Like I said, in combination with a decent heat treat, it was a good steal. This has always been a little bit off center, just a little bit over there on the show side. I did adjust this, take this apart, and it got a little bit better, but it's just always been a little bit off center. That's how this one is destined to do. It was also a little bit light on the lock up there, but I got that to go ahead and fit nice and flush there. So that's in a better way. Again, this is the Vanguard series, which is kind of their lower tier. I kind of expect that, especially in this price range. This is really more against for me, or how it doesn't work for me as so much, is it is such a short handle here. You can see that even with the blade there, very small and slim. Again, in pocket, great, but in hand, medium large hands, it's just not tall enough. If it were a little wider or a little bit taller, either of the two would work well. But so if you don't like really thin blades, you're not going to really love this, or thin handles, I should say, these short handles. For me, a con, This particular model is right-hand tip-up only, but I will say the Begleiter version 2s, this is a version 1 from a couple years back, the Begleiter 2s do have reversible tip-up, and they're actually also coming with a button lock. So if you're interested in this blade, I might suggest you actually go for one of the version 2 new ones. That's probably a much better option. On the whole, again, why am I giving this folding steak knife away? I don't really have any major problems with it. It really comes down to it just doesn't fit my hand well. I just found myself wanting to choose other knives above it. And really, that's why I'm giving it away to actually one of my viewers, Tom Quirin. He's actually a Marine with an interest in knives, and he doesn't really have a real big budget. So I kind of want to help him out and throw this his way and encourage him, to continue with the knife hobby, enthusiasm, and I appreciate his service. So, and I also encourage you to do anything you can for veterans of the U.S. military. So, on the whole, this knife is on its way out of here, but it's not really problematic. Oh, one last thing, if you're getting this far, left-handed, it just does fine. So I think once again, oops, not the greatest on that thumb stud, but look for the Begleiter 2 if you're interested in this knife. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, appreciate the like and subscribe, and have a great day. Take care now.